welcome to Vlogmas Day 8. We don't know what we're doing, but we're working our way there, so maybe this week will be better. Seeing as I have nothing to do and I don't want to I don't want to stress myself out trying to do sit down videos and a vlog, especially since this is like my first year. I'd rather I'd rather see what I can do before I try to tackle two separate tasks on here, you know? So we're combining our vlog with our sit down, which means today we are doing, and I know it's early. I know it's so early because like it's not the end of the year. I mean, it's the end of the year, but it's not like even December 20th yet. I truly doubt I am going to get through all the rest of my books on my TBR, which is only like I'll be able to finish that one. 1, 2, 3, 4 on my physical. Like, I just don't see it happening, and even if it does, by the time I made that video and it came out, I want it to roll over into next year, you know what I mean? And I'd rather get it out of the way because I put on TikTok what my 5 before the end is, so I mean, you can know. If you want to know, you go on TikTok and you know. So today we're gonna be looking at all the books. Look at how many there are. Ah! Oh no, I don't like you, but I don't want you ruined. Oh no, you're such a pretty cover. You don't deserve that. Your plot does, but I mean, and your characters do. That's about it. You know what? I don't care. We're gonna look in the handy dandy 2023 reading journal. My friend got this for me for Christmas, I think. Look, it's got my name on it. It's so cute. And it's my birth month flower. Yeah. But bear in mind, this is for today. This is where I stopped. Like, I still have all this left. Like, I just stopped using this, and I loved using it because I have all my favorite quotes in here. I mean, it's not a big deal. I kept everything on Storygraph anyway. If you'd like to follow me on Storygraph, feel more than welcome to. I need friends on there. I want friends on there. Let's start off with the Kindle reads, okay? Because that's just so much easier to get through because I could just put the little picture up here because I think I know what I'm doing now with editing these. But let's go through those. I read 35 out of 50 books this year. Now, I know compared to like literally everybody else on this app and on Instagram, like everything that's not, it doesn't seem like a lot. I must say, I'm rather proud of myself because I didn't think that, like, I was like, oh, I'll make it to 50. That's no big deal. I could do that. I really humbled myself there. So, like, I'm proud of myself for how much I read regardless, but I wish I would shut up sometimes because I literally can never meet these goals I set for myself, like, ever, no matter what it is. It's probably just a personal problem, but anyway. On Kindle, I read 5 technically, 6, 7, 7.5. So first on the Kindle, I had The Duke and I by Julia Quinn. I love Bridgerton. I got 3 out of 5 stars. I will say I love it. Like, I love that time era. I love everything about it almost. And like, but I love the Bridgerton show. This is one of those rare times where I do not like the books more than I like the movie or show. Like, it was good. The books were so good. I love how much more like of not an attitude, but I feel like Daphne had more of her own ground in the book, if you know what I mean. Like, this is gonna take forever if I go into explain it, but 3 out of 5 was not my favorite one. Next, I read Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. What? Okay. Elle Kennedy is actually, when I first got back into reading The Deal, that was what fully got me like immersed back into reading. Okay, and then I read The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy, right around the time that the Summer I Turned Pretty show came out. Read all 3 of them. I gave them all 4 out of 5, but thinking back on it now, I would probably knock the 3rd one. What was the 3rd one called? Whatever it was. I would knock it down to like a 3.5 out of 5. It didn't give the spark that the first 2 books at least gave. You know, like it just felt like we were going through a super long epilogue. I don't know. But, so the 3rd one wasn't my fave, but I did read those. Okay, so then I read Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. There's just some vibe about it. I don't know. Until I found out that the characters were actually like in their 30s. I was like, what? This sounds like 20-year-old behavior, some of it. But they made it work. And now that I'm reading Things We Hide from the Light, and like, it's not as weird, like just realizing their age, you know? Like, I can read it more comfortably. But that's the one I'm currently on my Kindle, is Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. Nash, I don't know how much I like this one. I don't know what I'm going to rate it, honestly. It's not going to be a 5. I could just say that. It's not going to be a 5. But it's not going to be like a 3, because I actually really like it. I really like the story. Hello! She's so cute, just popping up. Hello, girl, gorgeous. Anyway, and then the last one I read on my Kindle, I wouldn't say this is my favorite book I read all year. It might be. This book, I felt so seen and understood. Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. That book deserves 500,000+ stars. I've never, like, just a woman recounting living in her teens and 20s and like growing up, like her main thing when she was little was being on some chat thing and boys and this and that and the drinking, the like just not, I don't know, like please if I could recommend any book to any girl, especially any young girl, please read this book. Like this book, like, I want to read it again now that I'm sitting here talking about it. It was so good. It was just so... And I don't like autobiographies or nonfiction, anything like that. I don't like it. But I'm very glad I read it. That is one book that, after reading on a Kindle, I would go get. Like, there's a lot of books read on Kindle I would totally go get the physical copies for. But this one, like, hands down, as soon as I'm off my book buying ban, I'm getting this book, and I'm just going, like, I don't even want to read it again. I do, so I can mark up the pages, which I already did in my Kindle. Like, I marked them up as much as you can on a Kindle. Like, I just want it, and part of me, this might sound crazy, but part of me one day wants to mark it with, like, black pen. Maybe when I'm moving, like, my house, you know, and I have my own reading room, I would want to take that book and rip out the pages and put them on the walls, but like in an aesthetic kind of way, and like have a mirage, basically. Is that the word? Of that book. Like, that's what I want, that book forever, and I will get it. That's all of our Kindle books. Now, for the physical TBR, I only have one book on here that I don't physically have with me. It's The Silent Patient by, I don't know his name, hold on. I rated this one 3.5 out of 5, but I think about that book. I think about it often, and it was very boring to be, like, I was pushing through. I had to really push through it, but at the end, that twist, it's still 3.5, so I don't know why I'm saying but I think I like it better than I did when I first read it. I think, like, now that's just marinated in my mind for, like, a good few months, I did not like it. I just wouldn't rate it any higher, because, like, I feel like they could have picked up the pace a little bit. The one I'm currently reading, and will be done reading by, hell, I don't know, City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I am not loving it so far. I like it. It's okay. It's just not everything I thought it was going to be, which I really didn't have high expectations to begin with, but I mean, like, I still, like, I expected something, you know? I'm still gonna read the second one, though. Just not right now, obviously. First book I read this year that I do have with me is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I gave it a 4 out of 5 because, like, look at this. Look at all my little notes. This was so cute. The storyline, everything, like, everything. But I had to take off a star because I don't like her writing. Like, just the way that they talk to each other. I mean, Archer can't talk, but, like, the way that Bree talks and then the way that they, like, I don't know, like, it's just cringy to me. It's just so cringy. And I am, like, I understand being in love and, like, cutesy little lovey-dovey love. Like, the way that Bree and Archer are, like, fully, immersively in love. I get it. But it's just so, like, I don't know. Neon Gods by Katie Robert. I rated this a 3 out of 5. She also has Electric Idol, which I read last year, I believe. I love that one. This one, though, I think it's just the smut was too much for me. Like, I liked it, kind of. I just wouldn't want to be in the center of a room on my man. Is that giving anything away? I don't think it does, but yeah, so I read this one. There's another last name that's about to get butchered, but I'm giving y'all a warning, and I'm actually trying. So, Kisses and Croissants by Anne Sophie. I don't know how to say that. I failed French twice. I took it 3 times, so, like, there's no hope for me saying that. I gave this book a 2. This was my least favorite read of the entire year. I get the main characters, I think she's 15, 16. But the writing, it was so, I started this on February 17th. I finished it March 13th. It took me a month to read one little book. Like, there's 300 something pages and it took me a month because I could not DNF it. Like, I just can't bring, before this book, because I did DNF one this year actually, but before this book I never been able to bring myself to DNF a book. Like, I can't. It feels wrong. It feels dirty. It feels like I'm betraying the book, the books in general, and the authors. Like, you know, like, I feel bad. I made it through though. This just was not my book, y'all. This one, let me tell you, I am a middle-aged woman. I am a Nicholas Sparks girly through and through. I love me a good Nicholas Sparks book. Like, the movies are immaculate, we all know. But The Longest Ride has actually been one of my favorite Nicholas Sparks movies for so long. I rated this book 4 out of 5. I know I'm like sound like I'm overhyping it, but I mean, it's 4 out of 5, you know? It wasn't perfect. It wasn't like, oh my god, I'm losing sleep, which I basically was. But Ira and Ruth. Oh my god, I love them. That's what I have and want to continue to have for the rest of my life. I want a love like Ira and Ruth's. It's when Ira in the beginning, he gets in that car crash and he's seeing Ruth's ghost, like, younger to older or whatever, like, as the storyline goes on or something. And they're talking about their anniversary. Like, their actual, you know, anniversary. And Ira says, not that anniversary, our other anniversary. The day my life changed forever, I say. The day I first saw you. That is so cute. That is just so cute. And then Ruth says, you barely looked at me. Ira, I couldn't. You were the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen. It was like trying to stare into the sun. How is this man not just the most perfect specimen? Fictional specimen. feel like I'm leaving out Luke and Sophia, but let me just say they're not my favorite. Like, they are in the movie, but in the book, like, they just irritated my soul. Think about those memes where it's like the girl taking a picture of the sunset and it's like what I see versus what he sees, and it's the guy taking a picture of her taking a picture of the sunset, like taking a picture of something so beautiful. Sophia, I've never seen anything like this, she murmured, awestruck. It makes me feel breathless. He stared at her, wondering how'd she come to mean so much to him so quickly. Studying the graceful outline of her profile, he was certain he'd never seen anyone more beautiful. I was thinking exactly the same thing. They are so... Like, what does this man drink? What does Nicholas Sparks drink in his water when he sits down to write? He's just reaching into my heart. That's what he's doing. He's just somehow getting in my head of, like, what could make J-Lo swoon and cry and, like, just love. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. This series... Stephanie Garber, you outdid yourself. I love these books so much. This one I picked up like right before, at least from what I saw on my pages, this book like fully blew up. I was really wanting a good fantasy. I got an immaculate fantasy book with this, okay? Look at my like Jax and Evangeline. I love this. I heard somebody else say that it gave sort of a like you're wanting to get into fantasy, but you don't want the complexity, is that the word? Of what a fantasy book is. You know, like you don't want all the, not details, but just, there's not so much world building in this. I mean, like it's so easy. Like it's a perfect little... It does give Disney vibes, and that is what I want. That is what I wanted. I didn't want like Lord of the Rings kind of vibes. I wanted something cutesy, and that was this. This was a 5 stars. This was a 5 stars. Actually, by the way, this one might have been my favorite one. Curse for True Love. Like, if you haven't read these yet, especially, like, this one just came out not too long ago, and I got it, I think, the day of or the day after it came out. My boyfriend surprised me with it. And oh my god. I know I said everything I know about love was my favorite book this year. This is going to be a 20-minute segment of Once Upon a Broken Heart. But they all got 5 stars. They all did. They were just... To another series. I read the Percy Jackson series. Yep, took me forever, but I did it. They were all 5 stars. I go through these phases where I am like obsessed with Greek mythology. Like, I did actually DNF a book this year, and I guess I'll tell y'all. I wasn't going to, but I guess I will. This book I got in a mystery bag, which is probably why I have trust issues with them now. And even though I want mystery bags and stuff like that, I'll probably never get one because, or mystery book, whatever. Belle Revolt by Lindsay Miller. I DNF'd this. I was like maybe not far into it at all. It just didn't hit for me. Like, I couldn't get a connection at all. I really tried, and it just wasn't. This was not my book of the year. I've been meaning to take this with me to one of those little libraries and shove it in there, but I forget. So, Bad Girl Reputation by Elle Kennedy, the second in the Avalon Bay series. I don't think it was as good as Good Girl Complex, but it did exceed my expectations. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was a 4-star, but then you get to the end, sudden marriage. Y'all just got back together. Y'all just like, and y'all were very toxic, and they admitted it. They admitted like we were a toxic couple. And yes, they were working on themselves. They were like healthier. It was good. Like they're good. Why do y'all have to get married? I know it's fiction though. So that's no reason to not read it. Please read it. Like, it was so good. I got another Nicholas Sparks. And I don't want to make it down the list of this man's books one day. I will. Safe Haven, 4 out of 5. This book, I hate to say how much I related to this book. with her husband, her first husband. Like, I understand, girl. I was there too. I wasn't physically beaten, but I was there too. Oh, look, I left a whole little paragraph, not even just quotes. Let's read that, shall we? Something about the writing was off, but a perfect example of not just physical abuse, but mental as well. Feeling like Katie, going right from slowly being killed to finding the love of my life. I am so corny, and I love it, because I don't remember this. Alex and Katie, they were just so cute. I feel like I'm Nicholas Sparks' biggest young fan. Okay, actually, this is not a lovey-dovey romantic quote. So this is when Joe, who is Katie's neighbor / Alex's ex-wife, whatever, I don't know, she's at Katie's house and she's asking her if she wants her to get something. And Katie's like, I think I got it. And Joe says, good, because I'm the guest and I expect to be pampered. That is actually my best friend's nickname that I gave her in our junior year of high school. But I had to write that down because that is actually me at her house. Every time, like, I'm the guest. She feeds me. She gives me clothes if I need them. I think I borrowed her jacket one time. Well, I mean, that doesn't sound special, but like, she feeds me. She clothes me. She has given me, like, that is my home. And I expect to be pampered in when I'm visiting my other home. So that's that. I read The Brothers Hawthorne. I rated this book a 3 out of 5. It didn't do it for me like the Inheritance Games did. I did luck out because a lot of people went into this book thinking it was a part of the Inheritance Games, and it wasn't. It was like I don't know, what's the word for it? I heard that it could have been like a bridge. It's probably a bridge into her new series, into Jennifer Lynn Barnes' new series. And I do believe that because at the end, like, the little cliffhanger we're left on, like, yeah, it's totally about to open up to a whole new thing. I wanted Nash. I do feel like Nash's role in this book was perfect. Like, it made sense. Everything made sense. But ultimately, I wanted more Nash. And this book did not provide that. But it was good. I did give it a 3 though, just because the balancing storylines, I am Team Grayson, but that had nothing to do with what I'm about to say. So, but Grayson's storyline, I liked it so much better than Jameson's storyline. Grayson's felt more like a movie I'd actually sit down and watch to me. So I think that's why. I also forgot to mention the Harry Potter books. I reread all 5. I gave them all 5 stars, of course. So those were those. That's like 5 out of the 35, I think, that I read. Best Friend's Exorcism, I gave it 2. But I've thought about this book so much since I read it. I give it a 2.5. It was like okay, I'm not gonna lie. The vibes were amazing. Kind of, actually not really, because I was so scared after reading this. Like, I felt such a bad energy while reading this, which is probably a sign that I should never read anything like this again. But then again, I did also read like a haunted house kind of book around the same time, so that could have been it. Is I was just reading too much of this stuff. The layout of it, like every chapter being an 80s song as the title, I was sitting here with an 80s playlist almost the entire time I read this, because I was like, it's giving. It felt like you were actually in the 80s. Like, I know when you watch Stranger Things, they do have pretty much like almost everything that's like practically like they filmed it in the 80s, but this, it felt like Grady Hendrix was there in the 80s, just like right in it as they were in the 80s witnessing all this happen. I didn't like the way that the exorcism played out. Like, it just felt very dull to me. Like, I didn't feel like I was there watching it, which is probably a good thing. It didn't transport me fully, is what I mean. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. 5 stars. 100% 5 stars. This was so good, and I cannot believe I put off even buying it for so long. Like, this has caught my eye so many times, and I just wouldn't get it because I was like, no, I don't feel like I want to get to it. It's just not, it's not pulling me in that much, you know? I saw where they had the casting like, they picked the cast for this new series that's about to come out, the show of this, and that was what really pushed me to want to watch it, because the girl who plays Pip, I don't remember her name, or who's going to play Pip. Like, everybody was, like, freaking out, like, oh my god, she's perfect for Pip. And the girl from Wednesday played Enid, and I didn't love Enid, but, like, she was a really good actress. Like, she did amazing, so I want to see it, but I don't want to see it without reading it. And I'm so glad I did. Now I just need the last two, because this book, this was so freaking good. This was so good. It was astounding. That's all I can say about it. 3 out of 5 stars for The Haunting of Ashburn House by Darcy Coates. It gave me the heebie-jeebies, okay? Like, the twist of what actually was happening. What? Like, what? When I found, like, as I was reading it, when I found out the real secret of this house, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. Because that, like, actually is just so not what I expected. Like, I truly expected it to be just, like, classic, oh, somebody died here and they're haunting the house, you know. No. And, like, the whole mystery of who, like, what happened to the Ashburn family that lived in this house, oh, it was so good. I will say, though, if I ever pick up a book and I don't read it yet, and I, for whatever reason, tell others about the book, and there's a zombie type contorted, like, is that the word, contort? Like, just not natural thing coming out of the ground, like, clicking. No. Somebody better tell me so I can put it down, because I can't do it again. I can't. That was traumatizing for me. I was so scared to take my dog out at night, because I just, and it was on the roof. It was on the roof. Just think about it's making my skin crawl. I don't like it. I don't like that. But nonetheless, it was okay. I just don't want that to ever have to. I will never read that book again. And I am not a Colleen Hoover girly. She's not who got me back into reading. Like, I know she is for a lot of people, and I know there's a lot of controversy around her name. And just from what I've seen, like, I don't know her, obviously. I can't give my wholehearted opinion, but just from what I've seen, I'm not a fan. But me and my friend this year tried to start a monthly book exchange, which only lasted 1 month. That is very tragic, and I'm actually very sad about it. She got me Verity, my first Colleen Hoover book. This is like her favorite book ever, and I read it, and I will say, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. She did warn me. She was like, it's not going to be the best writing. It's really not. It was so good. Like, this was a Lifetime movie, badly written, in a book, which is what I love. I used to love Lifetime movies. Did it for me. The twist, like, of Verity, of, like, her actually writing from the villain's point of view, I thought the idea sounded amazing. I was like, that is great. If I ever write a book and I'm writing from the villain's point of view, that would be, like, her, was it her publisher? Telling her to practice that way, like, basically keep a diary, but write it out of, like, an evil point of view. Don't write it from yours. Write it from just, like, the darkest part of your mind. That's genius. The outcome of this book was not great, but I enjoyed Verity. I enjoyed that Colleen Hoover book. And the last one, last but not least of all of these, King of Pride. The second to King of, is it Wrath? King of Wrath. I loved King of Wrath. I'm pretty sure I gave it 5. This one, though, I gave it 3. I didn't feel the connection with Kai and, her name is not Violet, Isabella, the way I did with Dante and Vivian. They didn't have the forced proximity, forced anything, so I think that's also it. What really threw me off, and this was such a small thing too, but I feel like I complained too much. But, like, the peacock feather, y'all know about the peacock feather if you've read this. Where did he get the feather? That's all I want to know, is where did he get the feather? I just want to know where the feather came from. But I will say, actually, I'll put it up to 3.5 just because Kai, like, it's the typical, you're not good enough for my child relationship of or not relationship, but for his mother and Isabella. When they're sitting in Kai's living room, him, Isabella, his sister, and his mom, and Kai's not taking her bullshit, like he agrees to go on that date with, I don't know, the girl from his, like, old neighbor who his mom tries to set him up with. He belonged with her, and he's like, no. Like, yes, stick up for your woman. Tell your mother she does not dictate love life. Please. Show this woman you love her and defend her to everybody. And he did that, and it made me happy. Her writing, I love it. This is only the second book I've read by her, but it's our wrap up. Hopefully it doesn't fall. So close. Don't fall. Are we going to the gas station?
Yep.
Oh, it's perfect. This has actually been my whole day. Was going to work and then going out to eat. So I mentioned how we went to your party. Tell them what we did. Tell them what we did.
A Christmas party.
No, we played Dirty Santa. Was that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like in the office, but not as cool. It was so much cooler in the office. The whole teapot thing. Tell everyone, or you stole this, right? Yeah, he stole this blanket.
From an old lady.
From an old lady. He stole her cookies. You stole fucking cookies. Now that I think about that, like, you stole old cookies.
She was so excited about this. See the cookies?
You're just so mean. They're red velvet with what?
White chocolate chips.
But they look so good. Oh, we could keep this tan for next year. And I want a fucking grill. It's beautiful. Oh, speaking of The Office, this is like that George Foreman that Michael had when he like, cause he'll put bacon on his George Foreman in the morning.
It's like a knockoff George Foreman. That's what this is.
Yeah, well, in the show, he puts bacon on his George Foreman, so that way in the morning it just automatically turns on, starts making him bacon, so he could wake up to the smell of bacon. So when he woke up, you remember that? Yeah, I thought that was so funny. He had it in a cast, and he was like, ugh. I have a Michael Scott. Now I'm gonna make some bacon on that. I can't put it in my room.
Don't make bacon on this.
That's our haul.
Is the video over?
Huh?
Is the video over?
Yeah. Got to clean this room. Like, it is so horrendous. I don't know how it got like this. Like, I mean, it's been this way. It's been this nasty before. I was really hoping that Bookmarked would have a new episode out today, because I really enjoy cleaning to a podcast, like, more than I do music, honestly, but I could put music on. It's not a big deal. So I did finish this yesterday. That plot twist at the end, I'm not gonna lie, she got me. Hear me out, because when I went into this, I did not know, like, I know it's a YA book, and most YA books don't have, like, so much romance unless it's specifically a romance book. But I didn't, like, realize that with this book. I kind of felt the vibe, you know, like, I didn't feel a vibe. Like, I didn't feel any kind of vibe that would make me think, oh my god, they're going to fall in love and blah, 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 blah. So I didn't expect, like, for anybody to fall in love, but at the same time, I just don't read books like this often. So maybe that's what it was. I also finally finished watching the movie last night. I have to say, this is one of those very rare moments where I'm like, the movie was 100% better. Not the cast, like, nobody was as I pictured them. Rated this one, I gave it a 2.5. It just really didn't get good for me until the last, like, about, like, right this little bit. Maybe, I don't know, but it was towards the end that it got good, and I just wasn't about it. I am still gonna read City of Bones after this one, which I'm starting today. So I mean, I'll still continue the series, or at least finish the second one since I already own it, but I don't know if I'm going to continue the series, because to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Cassandra Clare's writing. This was not the family tree I wanted to climb into, especially not with the storyline of this one. is so cute. I'm so proud of her. That's amazing. Okay, bed is made, and she looks okay. I literally have like 3 baskets of laundry to do. Why do I let myself get to these points? Alright, gonna get her done. So, funny story, really funny story actually. Back in high school, when I was like 14 to 15 and in my emo stage, I wasn't really allowed to fully get into the emo side of things, like dress wise. I had banties and I had, you know, those big old thick bracelets, like I had them, but I didn't have like the way I wanted to dress, like Tumblr era, like 2013, 14, 2012, okay, 2012 to like 2014, 15. Just that aesthetic, I wasn't allowed to dress like that. So I asked my mother one year for maybe Christmas. There was this shop, it might still be around, I don't know, called Glamour Kills. I asked for a beach towel with the fine pink logo that says Glamour Kills. And this towel has lasted me all this time, so I'd say she was a good purchase. She was pretty sturdy. She's fading some, like right there and other places, but she doesn't have any holes. It's a thick towel too. I mean, I know it's a beach towel, but like, it's a good quality towel. First basket is done. I don't feel like dealing with that, so we're gonna do it with this little table first. These just slid straight down and stabbed me. Topher left his gloves. They come in a bag. We don't need that today. We don't need these today because I'm not on my period right now. We'll need house keys. Oh my god. So when the Barbie movie came out, like the release date, me and my boyfriend went to go see it, and he got me the little like our theater, or the theater we went to had the little Barbie box, and it had like the popcorn snack box, and I got a little cup, like a kitty cup, and it had this on top, and it's actually a locket, and I had my movie tickets in here forever. And this thing, like, it doesn't pop open easily, but if you drop the keys it pops. And I guess I dropped them because as I was walking into the house I realized that this was open. My tickets were gone. I've not found them, so that's very disappointing. Bookmark. This one is from a set by Paper Goods by Summer. Go follow her on Instagram and buy some of her little bookmarks because they are so cute. She has these coffee ones that just came out recently. I want to get them so bad. And they're not expensive either. So I am going to get them for myself for Christmas. I just haven't yet. But We don't need this today. Sunnies. Medicine for my mouth. Apple Watch. I don't know where my charger is, so we're not going to take her today. Random charger block. A receipt from Target. Don't need that. And a ring that I will wear today. We're gonna switch persons. This has turned into a whole new thing. We're not even cleaning anymore. We're switching back to what was my summer bag this year, but she's got, I think it's coffee. I don't know, but we're switching this. I'll clean it in a minute before I leave. Did have to put a pause on cleaning, and I have to go do some things, and I have to go to my son's school tonight. They're doing a Christmas concert, but I don't have time, and I just really am not feeling doing a full face of makeup. So I just went in the bathroom and kind of messily really did my eyebrows, and now we're just gonna put on some mascara and call it a day. Also, does anybody else, like, look at how little they rise up and then they just go back down. Like, you could see them for a minute. Like, up close, you kind of see them. I hate having short lashes. I would love to, at some point, invest in eyelash extensions, but it's not too pricey, I don't guess. Like, if you add it all up and think about it, it's not bad, I don't think, depending on where you go and what kinds you get and how good all that, you know, like the normal jazz of purchasing things. I should probably go get a Q-tip because that's not coming off, and that would be the right thing to do anyway. Look how easy it comes off with a Q-tip. Like, with my finger just a few seconds ago, it just got worse, and now it's gone. Obviously, if I ever got sponsored by anybody, I want it to be like book related, you know, or clothes. I could use some clothes. But number 2 or up on that list, like, I feel like they're in every video. I only have like 5, but if I had more, I'm at, ooh, look at that light. Came back from last week. Like, if you watched last week's vlog, thank you for coming back and bearing with us. We still don't have everything figured out, but when I was editing last week's vlog, like, I did use CapCut, and I have to say, I am so internally embarrassed for being so late to the game. See you guys tomorrow for a more contentual day.